Felix will be with us in a few moments. I just wanted to start it up so it can be started up and everything. Um, Episode 61, we've got a whole lot of topics. And I can say this without him being here and all that, just because it'll save from when we actually start up and everything. Me and him. So we have a lot of topics, and this is going back from a week and a half ago. We got topics from that. We talk about WWE Payback. We're going to talk about AEW and their drama after their biggest show ever and everything, and I do not get why, but we will talk about that. We'll talk about the Premier League and everything, and just so much stuff overall that we're going to talk about. Um, should be a good overall podcast and all that. And he just said he'd be in here in about 5 minutes, so that'd be good. Um, yeah, we got a lot of topics to talk about. I want to say thank you to anyone that watched my Bray Wyatt Wyndham Watanya video. Took me a while to finally do it after a couple of days, but and even in the video you can tell that I'm stunned and all that. We will probably talk about Mr. Wyatt himself. Um, it's still I can feel it, right? Like I can feel it. Just talking about it. It sucks. It sucks. But I mean, stuff happens that what we don't agree with, but I always say this: whatever is meant to happen, you know, eventually it's going to happen. Like, I know that's a pretty corny way of saying it, stuff like that, but yeah, that's. Hold on, let me check something. Okay, yeah, but his passing, Terry Funk. It's not been a good year, and then we got Mr. Barker, Bob Barker. The host of The Price is Right. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I watched Price is Right on especially throughout the week. Like if it's in the summer and I'm at like I was watching all those shows with my mom or my mama, my aunt, anybody I was with and everything. So Bob Barker passing away, I mean, that's such a good host. Game host, such a good host, man. Very much. Um, but I really do hope y'all are having a great day. I just want to appreciate anyone that watched that and my WWE Huntsville Super Show vlog. Really appreciate it. I am praying and hoping that there's a pay per view nearby that I can go to, because that's one thing I was talking to my wife, this morning. We were talking. I was like, that's one thing I have not went to is a pay per view, and I want a pay per view. I want a pay per view, man. I really, really, really want a pay per view. And at this point, if it ain't in Nashville or Atlanta, I might find a way to go to it. That's how much I want to go to a pay per view. I want to experience a pay per view aspect of a show. Um, That's really the only thing I have not went to. I've went to SmackDown before WrestleMania. That was very good. Um, and the only reason they did that is because that was the year Nashville was supposed to host Hell in a Cell, move stuff around. Nope, no longer. Like really? Hmm. Um, Honestly, the seats that we had, I did not think I paid. I did not think that's the seats I got. Um, as you can tell, I was close, but man, there's so many people in the front row that stood up a lot, and I'm thinking, I'm thinking, really, are we really? I'm like, man, I'm not standing. I'm not standing up. I'm not standing up because, like, I enjoyed myself. My mom really enjoyed herself. That's the one thing I was worried about. I was like, it's been so long since she even seen it. She never seen it live though. I was like, when she said that, I'm like, she's gonna have a blast. She's gonna have a blast. But Felix should be making his way in any moment now. Um, I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna hit him with a couple of questions. I always do these topics of, this category, this category here, of wins, losses, and stuff like that. Stats, should say stats. So I'm gonna hit him with two of those. Premier League, we're gonna talk about that because look, I've watched a little bit more of it, tried to kept up with it a little bit more. So I'm gonna try to talk to him about that, with him about it. He's gonna be doing most of the talking, but I'm gonna try to, you know, relive that talk with the Premier League and everything. Um, it should be a very good podcast. A lot of topics, a lot of stuff, and honestly, I can't. And honestly, I went live. I accidentally went live, right? And I was waiting on him, and then I recorded a video, and then like I was in the process of uploading it. This is when stuff, all that happens and all that. Um, so I have no idea if Felix knows that I haven't even went live. I don't know. I really don't. That's the unique part of this. But whoever watching, whoever hit that like button for me, I really, really appreciate it. Um, just just liking it up and everything, and even if you share it out, like I don't expect everyone to share it out, but if you just share it out for me, that would be great. I mean, Blake, Blake, man, I honestly, I greatly appreciate it. I mean, look, I wish, I had more females watch me. I really do, because my female to male ratio is so bad of females to males that actually watch me. So I wish I had more females watch me, but you know what? It is what it is. Maybe one of these days, if I grow big onto the channel and all that, maybe, just maybe, I have more females. I don't know. But I really do wish I had more females watch me, though. Because I feel like how I present myself and all that, I cater and how I speak to both male and female. So, but man, I hope this man Felix hurries up. Though I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm good with rambling on and stuff like that, but there's to a point that I can't do it much longer. I really can't. But stuff I want to talk about that's coming to the channel in the near future. Um, Madden 24, when I did the live streams and all that, 3-0 or 2-0. Was it 3-0, 2-0? I think it was 2-0. Brand new video coming out probably sometime next week. Because tomorrow we're gonna do TKW episode 121 part 1. Then the next day, which would be Friday, we're going to do part 2. Saturday, on Payback Day, we're going to do WWE 2K23 match simulation or match simulations. I think we're going to do Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Finn. Well, nah, we'll just do Nakamura and Seth. That'll be one video. And that night, I will do a recorded video with my review for Payback. A lot of stuff is coming to my channel, and I don't know. That I'm trying to keep up with this stuff. Then Sunday, I had something planned for Sunday. I think I'm going to do my pay-per-view of TKW One Night Stand, my PLE. And that's going to be in Philly. So I think I'm going to have One Night Stand, and I'll be live on the channel. Live with Universe Mode. And all that. So that's a schedule that I'm going to have. After that Madden video comes out, probably sometime next week, I'm going to go ahead and say Monday, yes. And that's when I'll stream more because I don't want to spoil my record and all that. So Monday, I've got game highlights of 2 games that I played in to see if I'm undefeated still or not. But after that, then I'm just trying to figure stuff out because I am going to be starting to work out here soon. So um, I've said that to myself for way too long. Way too long. Way too long. So I wonder if Felix knows that I've been live for almost 15 minutes. I don't know. Blake, but let's do, and I'm gonna say it to Felix as well. Um, out of all of the 4 horse women, Mercedes, Sasha, Bailey, Becky, and Charlotte, which one of those 4 do you think has the best win percentage in the matches they've done throughout their WWE NXT career? Yeah, I don't know if he knows, but he the thing would pop up that he would join. And I know I sent the link. So out of those four, who do you think has the best win percentage? I think it would kind of shock you. Out of those four, out of all the matches they've done with WWE and NXT, who has the best win percentage out of the four? I'm going to tell you right now, she has the lowest win percentage out of them. Believe it or not. So the one that has the most win percentage, the best win percentage, is Bailey, actually. And that'll be the one of the first things I talk to him about when he joins. Okay, there we go. We're back. It actually didn't mess up. But yeah, it's kind of strange. Bailey has the best win percentage out of the four. I guarantee you that he gets it wrong as well. Trust me, he will get it wrong. He will definitely get it wrong, just like you did. I will say Charlotte has the most matches out of all of them, though. Yeah, he said he was going to get something to drink and everything, so I don't know. But I will say this: I am actually going to try to get a snack and something to drink as well. So I'll be back. It's about to be 18 minutes live. I'm going to try to be back within 20 minutes. So 2 minutes tops. Hey, I got back on time. I got back in time. Whew. All right. Well, since we're waiting. I might as well try to set up. Okay. Yeah, my snack involves crackers, peanut butter, and a glass of milk. So pretty quick. Pretty quick actually. But the bad thing is, it's like these rich crackers, and I'll be honest, I'd rather do saltines. I don't know what crackers or what y'all got over there. I don't know if it's the same or different. So I don't know. That's why I would love to travel. I would love to travel. So traveling is really on my bucket list and everything. So hold on one. I'm not gonna lie. When he said 5 minutes, now look, I will tell you this: my 5 or 10 minutes. When I say five, okay. When I say 10 minutes, you better double. Shoot, hold on. Hold on. Boy, if that is the reason, what if the invite didn't go through? Oh my gosh. I just messaged him and said, "Hey, I've been live, just chilling, just waiting or something." I, just making sure he was, good to go, or if not, I'd started off saying the topics, and he said, "I haven't even got the invite through my email," which I know I sent it, but my email could have been tripping and not sent it. I don't know. So hopefully that works. Because we've been live for 25 minutes. I'm going to have a hell of a lot of time. In the description, I'm going to say skip to whatever for the start of the podcast. I really am. Skip to 25 minutes and 30 seconds. Oh, what's up? What's up?
Hello, how's it going?
Really good. If you see the time, that I really thought, I was like, man, he must have turned his 5 minutes into my 5 minutes, which is like 50.
Yeah, I had to write down some last minute notes. I went to get a drink and then I forgot to put some notes down, so I just had to quickly write them down. So, but yeah, I'm good now.
No, no, no. That's good. Um. Okay. Well, I can't even remember what I just said for the first 20, a good amount of time. But I'm gonna say skip to 25:30. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna have to put that somewhere. But this is when the podcast really starts. But how you doing today, Alex?
I'm doing grand, yeah. Bit tired from the weekend for all the travel to London and all that, but it was well worth it for AEW All In. That was incredible show, but we'll get on to All In a second. But yeah, I'm grand, thanks. How about you?
Man, I mean, I'm good. I'm good. I ain't gonna lie. They've had us where I work and everything. They've had us work on the week, on Saturdays. Not this
Oh
Saturday.
God.
Not this Saturday, luckily. And the only reason they have it is because it's Labor Day weekend. So I mean,
Ah, fair enough. Fair enough.
so my body, to say the least, is really hurting. Well, I mean, not really, but just sore and just ready to have a long weekend. So
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah. So I mean, other than that, man, I'm great. I am great. Um, but we might as well talk about it. I mean, it's a part of the title and everything, and I'm gonna just say this, and then I'll let you, talk about the show, and then or give you your opinion and talk about the show since you were live there. Now, I did not watch the show because I was at a live event before or a little bit after, so I had to get ready with certain stuff. But I plan on
And
watching.
you were watching the Liverpool game.
Oh, I was watching that too. So like I was everywhere. I should have went to bed and not even watched the game because I needed more sleep. I'm gonna be honest, but this is how I. When I'm a fan of a team, and I start, even if it's starting out or something, I don't miss many games. I do not miss many.
Neither do I. Literally, I only missed that because I was obviously in AEW. Like, I watch every Liverpool game, like every game, every season, unless something is happening that I, need my attention to, which obviously AEW. But I did watch a little bit of the show while going into the stadium. I was just like, okay, watching. And then I had to turn it off as soon as I go in. But yeah, I still kept an eye on the score and all that and lost my mind when I saw that we won after coming back from 1-0 down. But we'll get on to that later. But yeah, go on. Have your opinion on the whole. I assume you're about to talk about the CM Punk situation.
So, dog, you have the biggest show in your company's history, and guess what?
For God's sake. Yusuf is already at it with the whole Omar stuff.
I don't know what to say to that one, honestly. But you have your biggest show ever in your company's history. And guess what? Coming out of it, drama. I do not, I do not understand this. God, that's so irritating to me. If I am the owner of a business like this, if I'm Tony Khan, I don't even care if they don't want to be in the same damn room. I am getting everyone in a big ass room and be like, we need to settle this, settle this. Y'all talk it out. And if y'all want to just beat the hell out of each other and actually fight, do that and go. That's what they used to do back in the day and everything. I think they need an all out brawl and just to see who's the one standing top. Just let everyone beat the living fuck out of everybody, and just see who stands up on top.
Moxie was right. AEW players got too much drama backstage, man. I'm going to give my opinion on that whole thing and my take on it in a bit after Tyler's done. But I'm going to make a point that I've made on the podcast before. But I'll get on to that once Tyler stops talking.
Oh my gosh, bro. You don't see this in WWE, man. I do, and I get it. They're just more professional, and there's not a bunch of fucking kids over there. I hate to say it, but Punk, even though he's in it, every single one, it seems like, yeah, he's over there. And look, I'm really not even going to blame Punk on this one because I don't think it's his. It's it's Jack Perry, really, because Punk said one thing because he been in this business a long, good while. And he's like, I'm just trying to help you out. And, cool. But for Jack to do that on the pre show and everything, saying it's real glass, and that part probably didn't make him too mad. But when he said, go cry me a river, yeah, okay. I, oh boy, I don't know how they do it, but it seems like we have drama every 2-3 weeks, at least once every month. That you're like, it. It's not going to take away from the show all the way, but man, you don't want people talking about drama instead of talking about the pay per view, the biggest show that you've ever done. So that's my take. Like, out of everything you talk about with after the pay per view, it's not even the pay per view. So that's the shitty part to me. But go ahead, Philip.
That last point you made literally couldn't have been more accurate. Punk had such a shit day beforehand too. Apparently, bro got lost on the London trains. Bro, I'm not surprised. First time I went to London, I had no fucking clue what I was doing, where I was going. Luckily, I was with friends who knew London and who knew the area, so they was able to lead me through the tubes and shit. Before, I didn't know fuck all about the underground, and I got lost. But luckily, I'm now used to it to the point where I could just like look at where I'm going. I could go, I do this line, change to this line, blah blah blah. But yeah, beforehand, I used to get confused as fuck. So I'm not surprised he got lost. But yeah, to your point, Tyler, about you have the biggest show that you've ever made, and in my honest opinion, I mean, I haven't watched many AEW shows immediately, but and I may be biased because I was there, but I think a lot of people would say this too. That was their best show they've ever done in terms of quality, even. Um, you go out with your biggest show and you're arguably your best show you've ever made, and the thing people are talking about is not even the actual show, it's the drama shit afterwards, or the thing that happened beforehand of the pre-show. It's just like, you don't want that. As a company, you don't want that. You don't need that shit. Like, you want people to be talking about the show. You want people to be talking about how good it was and how excited people are for like what's going to come after the show in terms of the weekly shows and how the storylines are going to progress. You don't want people just talking about what happened backstage and drama shit like that. That's what WWE does very well. And the point I was going to make, that I've made a point before on the podcast about why this doesn't happen in WWE and the fact that it happens in AEW, is because compared to WWE, AEW doesn't have many genuine locker room leaders, people who are going to put the locker room in their fucking line. WWE has loads, countless like you can list them like Roman Reigns, The Undertaker, John Cena when he's there, AJ Styles, Seth Rollins, I imagine is one too. Like you could probably just list them. Randy Orton, you can list so many about like so many people who will put the locker room in line. Whereas AEW, who's going to put the locker room in line? Who genuinely is going to put the locker room in line? Chris Jericho? I don't know. Jericho, maybe Moxley, but I don't really see him as a locker room leader. Not, I don't have him have the traits of a locker room leader. Omega, this is not many. It's not many genuine locker room leaders in AEW that are going to be a hard ass and put the locker room in line when shit goes out of line. There generally isn't, and that's the problem. And that's why, and Tony Khan won't even do anything, not anything drastic. Like it's just a bit of a mess when it comes to all that. So yeah, AEW needs to be so much better. Tony Khan probably thinks he's the locker room leader. That's the thing. He's not even like yeah, he's a leader in terms of like what he does in the company, but like he's not very good at keeping the locker room in line or keeping his superstars in line. He's not even good at that. Like say what you will about Vince, but who's gonna say like no to Vince? Nobody. Ain't nobody was gonna talk back to Vince. Vince was a scary motherfucker.
Hey,
Um,
hey, that's one thing. Like, I always give credit to Vince. The Attitude Era and ruthless aggression and stuff, and throughout, um, ain't no one gonna bow up to him. Nobody.
whereas Tony Khan, I can imagine like many like superstars in AEW don't really give a shit about it, what he thinks. Genuinely, I just put my hands up and say that. So yeah, that is, in my opinion, the main reason why there's so much drama in AEW because there's no one keeping them in line. There's no one keeping the likes of Punk in line whenever something happens with him. Although, to be fair, this time I do seriously think it's not his fault. It was Jack Perry who started it, but still, it's always Punk, like who finds himself in situations every single time. Well, at least majority of the time. Um, but yeah, like at this point, I don't know. If I'm Tony Khan, I know CM Punk is like arguably the biggest name, the biggest star power, and all that. But at this point, like if Punk is going to be getting himself in drama constantly backstage, and after big shows, shit like this is going to happen. It really gets to the point where you think, is it worth it? Is it genuinely worth it? Like besides Punk, you still have loads of stars on that roster. Do you really need Punk making more drama than it really needs to be? I don't know. If I'm Tony Khan, if this was me, I'm personally thinking, is it worth keeping him at this point? As much as I like Punk and seeing Punk live was incredible and all that, just a company doesn't need drama like this constantly. At least not as frequently as AEW gets it. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Um, a lot of people are saying, is he gonna be done with them or whatnot? This is all I would say. If if I'm Tony, which I would never be Tony, I don't have that money. I don't. But I can tell you one thing I would have over Tony, and that would be speaking up and being a boss. Um, the only thing I would tell him, I would literally sit down with Punk and be like, "Hey, hey, if you do one, if there's something else that happens, and I know this one wasn't your fault, but if something else happens, you're gone."
Yeah,
I feel like if there's one more instinct, Tony's got to say, "Hey, you're gone." I don't care if he's a fanboy of CM Punk. You're a fucking boss. You're not a fanboy. You're not a fan just like us. If you want to be a fan, get your ass in the damn seats, sitting down and get your money. Do not be backstage acting like a boss when you're not. So, like to me, that's what I would do. I would sit him down and be like, "Hey, strike two, quote, 3 strikes, get out of the damn, company.
You couldn't have put it better there, because like precisely, like if I'm Tony Khan, like think of like like Tony Khan is a boss, like you said, and people like CM Punk or the other wrestlers in locker room technically are his employees. So think of it like that. If you're a boss of a company or whatever, like just in general normal work, if an employee of yours is making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, there's only so much you can allow before you have to go, no, fuck off, you're out.
Hmm.
Think of it as any other business. That's what Tony Khan needs to do. Like, if Punk is going to keep getting himself into shit situations like this, it really does genuinely come down to can't have you around if this shit's going to continue, because it's just going to do bad on the company time and time and time and time again. So, yeah, just think of it as any other business. Make many more mistakes, you're gone. So yeah, couldn't have put it better myself, to really.
Yeah. One thing I do want to talk about is with two things to talk about with AEW. Um, it's known that Britt Baker has been dealing with injuries, and she just likes to power through injuries, which a lot of wrestlers do. So hopefully, I mean, she, if I was her, I'd take care of this injury and take some time off, relax, and everything. Um, but the other major thing is Mercedes Monet being at the pay per view. Now, good on her. Um, I think she's gonna make her trips around, and I think Tony Khan even knows she's not going to be a regular on AEW, and he probably knows that she's going to be going back to WWE eventually because I, you can see it, you can see what she's wanting to do. She's always wanted to be, go to Japan, do this, do that. She's done it to an extent. Now she's injured, but she can do the AEW thing. I think I just think it's one of those things. She's just going here, doing that, doing that. I could even see her eventually doing Impact and having a match with Trinity, having a match with her, which I think they rightfully should do that because it really does. It just makes a whole lot of sense. But I don't know when she's going to come back, but I know she will be back in WWE eventually. I just see the path she's going, and it just leads her to coming back eventually and probably becoming like the biggest star there too. She's already a star outside of it, so
Yeah, fully agreed. I think that genuinely is the way Sasha, slash Mercedes Monet is going. Like she's done Japan now. So I think her being at AEW. Oh, by the way, before I went into the stadium, I saw like her tweet about the fact she was in London. She tweeted those pictures of her in London, and I was back and forth. I was like, is she actually here or is she trolling? Like I was sort of 50-50 on it. And then obviously when we were actually watching the show, and then she popped up on the screen and shit like that, we all lost our minds. But yeah, how I saw that was like she was in the crowd. Obviously she couldn't do anything because she was injured. At first, before she actually showed the injury, like the boot on her, and I didn't actually know she was injured. I thought she was going to like not interfere, but like after the women's match was over, she was going to like step up and sort of get into the face of the person who won, which obviously ended up being Saraya, which would have been interesting actually, considering the history between those two, but the whole like Saraya injury thing. Yeah. But yeah, but obviously, yeah, she's injured. But I think how I saw that was like she's in the crowd. They're basically doing the whole what they used to do with NXT. You know how like the newest NXT signing like just watches from the crowd. That's how I saw that. It was just like, so all right, it's clear that she's going to do AEW at some point. Like she is going to do AEW. Um, which yeah, she needs to do AEW. I think. Just have a little bit of a run there. She doesn't have to do anything too like massive or huge for a long time. Just have a nice little run there for a while. and obviously might do Impact as well, like you said. Do a program with Trinity. That does need to happen. It just makes so much sense. But yeah, I can see her just doing AW, doing Impact, having a run in between those two companies, and then yeah, one day in the future she comes back to WWE.
I
And then
The only thing
go
I
on.
will say is I don't see her having a long run in AEW. I don't.
No,
I mean, she might have a deep like a the length of it might be long, but I don't think we're going to see her on many shows.
no. She won't like be a full time like AEW star. Like she'll be like a special attraction that will show up every now and then.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be doing multiple different companies. I could see her doing AEW, Japan, and Impact all at the same time. I could see her doing that easy. So yeah, I could see her just being a special attraction that will pop up every now and then for big major shows in AEW. Maybe like at one point she will do like a little like full time stint if she does win the title, but neither here nor there. But yeah, like you said, I could see her doing a stint in AEW, stint in Impact, and then one day going back to WWE after she's done with all that. Because how I saw when Sasha left WWE, how I saw the reason why she left is because she just wanted to branch out and just do other stuff in the women's scene besides just WWE, especially Japan. Because she said like her dream was to wrestle in Japan. Now she's done that, so now sky's the limit for her. Pun really not intended there, I'll be honest, but made that pun anyway. But yeah, the sky's the limit in terms of what she's going to do in the scene before she goes back to WWE. So yeah.
The last AEW talk I want to talk about on this. Been told Tony Khan has gotten a lot of big time deals to for him to sell the AEW brand to someone if he wanted to, but I don't think he will. But the range is supposedly maybe billions of dollars, which that would be crazy. But I don't think billions. WWE when they merged with Endeavor did 8 point something million. Billions? I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems a bit hard to believe. Um, yeah, especially considering what WWE used to do. So yeah, it's really hard to believe. But if Tony Khan has pulled that off, then fair fucking play. But yeah, it's a bit hard to believe with the whole billions thing. I
Yeah,
can see him making like deals, but I don't see it being billions. But if he has done that, then fair play.
yeah. So while being live and not knowing that the invite didn't even get to you, I don't know what YouTube or my email did. So I asked Blake this, and I'm going to ask you this. So
Go on.
I always get these little stats and statistics. I have two, but one is very short. Out of the four horse women, who do you think has the best win percentage?
See, my initial gut instinct is Charlotte, but I feel like that'd be too obvious.
I don't know.
It's not Charlotte, is it?
Is that your answer?
No, no, it's definitely not Sasha. I think Sasha has the least out of the four. Um, almost. Fuck abusive. Uh, Becky lost quite a bit in her first, but ever since then, she's pretty much been like she doesn't lose a lot, Becky. So could be Becky for all we know. Bailey, she's sort of been 50-50. Although I don't really remember a stint in Bailey's career where she's lost like a lot of matches in consecutive times. Oh, this one's tough actually. Like Charlotte is like the
It,
obvious one for me, but I think it's too obvious.
it is tough though. I will say that it is tough.
I'm just gonna put it out here and say, you know what? I'm gonna be bold. Bailey.
It is Bailey actually.
Ah, yes.
Okay, I'm guessing this is WWE and NXT matches. So Mercedes has had 166 and won 552 of those. So all of them are above that. So that's still good for them. Becky, no, Charlotte would be no. Charlotte would. Well, hold on. Actually, Charlotte is last. 1,007 matches and 590 wins.
That is shocking. Wow.
Uh,
That is really surprising.
So Sasha Mercedes is third. Becky is second with 970 matches and 628 wins, that's pretty good. And then Bailey's got 997 matches to 680 wins. So yeah,
Wow, that's mental. I never would have thought Charlotte would have been dead last. That is
Charlotte is dead
very
last
shocking.
win percentage between those.
Wow. I mean, maybe because Charlotte's had more matches, so I guess like more matches for her to lose, then so the win percentage goes down. I don't
Yeah,
know, but that's mad.
still, the way they've booked Charlotte, you would think she'd have more wins.
You would think. I don't
But
know. Maybe it's like the big like title matches, and then she loses every other match.
so this would be my understanding if you asked me this. I would know it wouldn't be Charlotte or Sasha because they fucked Sasha with a lot of matches. And Charlotte, I just had a feeling. So I would know it would be Bailey or Becky for me. And then Bailey, if you remember, she had that long title run for the SmackDown Women's Championship. See you, man. Have a good.
All right, catch you, Yusuf.
So Bailey had like a unbelievable title reign and everything, and she didn't lose. So there's the time. Becky the same way, but Bailey had it a little bit longer. It felt like. Now Becky,
Mm.
I mean, just overall has had it for a long time. But yeah, that's a little stat. I have another one later on, but that can go for another thing. So talking about Becky. So it looks like they on Raw they had Tiffany Stratton, the NXT Women's Championship champion, not championship, but champion. Um, in the crowd like a just like an NXT takeover, like, hey, I'm watching the show, but it's Raw. There's been really reports where Becky is going to go to NXT for a little bit and face off against Tiffany Stratton. I don't know if this Becky never won the NXT Women's Championship. So they might do. I'm the big
Uh-oh.
well, why are we doing this? But I don't know. I don't like that because I love Tiffany Stratton as well. So that just ruins the title just overall. That ruins it. Like I get it's Becky, but why the hell is she down here doing that? But
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, with NXT, I haven't watched NXT consistently or pretty much at all since NXT Black and Gold original NXT died and turned into NXT 2.0, and then all the shit that happened afterwards. I haven't watched it consistently since then. I've watched a couple of matches like that I've known banged, like some Kamala Hayes matches with like Ilya Dragunov and all that, but um apart from that, I haven't really been watching it consistently. Although I have heard it's been somewhat decent lately, so maybe I do need to like keep somewhat an eye on. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't know why. If they have Becky go down to NXT and win the NXT Women's title of Strand, then it's just literally because she's never won the title, and at that point, it's such a pointless reason. Like, who cares if she's never won the NXT Women's title? She's main evented WrestleMania. She's done everything there is to do in the business. Who cares if she hasn't won the NXT Women's title? Literally, no one cares. Like, Becky is going to be considered one of the greatest of all time, regardless of whether she wins that belt. Literally, it makes no difference. I don't know why they would maybe make that a priority. Just as a
I,
stat.
yeah, I honestly I don't know either. I don't know. Um,
Before we carry on to any other topics, I do want to talk about AEW All In, like in terms of my actual like experience of the show and my review essentially. Um, so yeah, overall, I would say All In was quite an amazing, incredible show. I'm not going to lie. Although definitely elevated a little bit more considering I was there live, but still, like all the people who didn't go there live and just watched it would back me up and say it was an amazing show. My fate. Oh, go on.
is it your favorite show you've been to out of all the shows?
Yeah, I hate you for asking that question. No, but it's up there. It's up there. I actually don't really know what is my show I've ever been to. I have like a few that's in my like my top three, top five, but I can't really pick a favorite. Maybe Clash, but I'm sort of back and forth on that. But actually, it might be NXT UK Takeover Cardiff. To be honest, that was really fucking good. I don't know. I'm back and forth. Um, but yeah, All In is definitely up there. I would say in my top five, definitely. But yeah, my favorite matches of the show was Adam Cole vs MJF, Will Ospreay, Chris Jericho, and Young Bucks FTR. Those were my three best matches of the show. All three incredible matches. Absolutely stole it. Um, and every match was pretty good. Like there wasn't a match that I didn't like or anything. The only match that I sort of like lost my attention was the like pretty hardcore match, the Blackpool Combat Club match. That sort of lost my attention a bit because it was just extremely chaotic and it was really hard to pay attention to most of the matches because everyone was spread about doing their own shit. So it was just kind of like who's doing what. But it was still like a good match and there was some awesome like moments in there, but it was just hard to pay attention at times. But yeah. Um, I'm very happy for one tag team that was on the pre-show, and that's Aussie Open. I want to give a huge shout out to Aussie Open. I am so proud of those two guys, considering just a few years ago, back in 2019, before the pandemic and all that, I was seeing them in the British wrestling scene. I was seeing them in Attack in Cardiff. I was seeing them in the Cathays Community Centre, which in front of like 150, 200 people, something like that. I was seeing them just in normal indie shows like just a few years ago. And then all of a sudden I'm seeing them in front of 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium. It's mad to me like how far they've come, Aussie Open. So I just want to give a huge shout out to those two and how proud I am of them for making it that far. Honestly, I couldn't have nicer things to say about Aussie tag team. Um, but yeah, they had a good match with NJF and Adam Cole, especially for a pre-show match. It was really good. CM Punk with Samoa Joe was really good. Although the finish quite shocked me. I mean, not the person who won. I sort of expected Punk to win, but I didn't expect Punk to win with the Pepsi plunge. That I will say. I was kind of expecting to go to sleep, but when he won with the Pepsi plunge, I was like, oh shit, Pepsi plunge. But yeah, funny enough, in that match when Joe flung Punk into the announce table and busted him open, literally, I was like 5 minutes into the first match and we've already got blood. AEW, everybody. So yeah, that was just kind of a funny moment. It's like we've got blood already. All right, it's gonna be one of these shows.
Hey, John Mox was pissed that he wasn't the first one.
He still got his moment to bleed later on, but yeah, he was looking at this like, you son of a bitch, it should have been me. Should have been me to get busted open first. But yeah. Um yeah, it was a good match between Punk and Joe. Probably my fourth best match of the show. But yeah, pretty good show nonetheless. Um it was really good to see Omega, Ibushi, and Jay White live. Like three guys that I started watching when they were in New Japan, and I fell in love with them, all three of them. And just seeing them in the same match was really cool. The match was okay. It was good. Obviously, like when it comes to that type of match, you can only get so much out of it. But yeah, it was good to see Omega, Ibushi, and White live. Um, FTR and the Young Bucks. What a tag team match, honestly! Like one of the best tag team matches I've ever seen live. I'm putting that out there. So damn good. FTR was over as fuck. Like so over. I knew FTR was over, but I wasn't expecting them to be that over in Wembley. Like they were, so many people were behind them. Eventually they did win and retain the titles. And it seems like the feud's not over because I saw that FTR tried to handshake the Young Bucks and the Young Bucks swallowed it away and just sort of like exited the ring. So it seems like it's not over between those two teams. I'm down for another match. Maybe all out. Who knows? But yeah. Honestly, if it wasn't for how good Osprey and Jericho was, and MJF and Cole, that would be my match of the night. And all three matches are quite close to each other in terms of quality. Incredible tag team match. I'm going to talk about I'm not talking about it in order, by the way, because I can't remember the order saved my life. But I'll just go by whatever match comes into my head next. I'm going to talk about the Fatal 4-Way women's match next. Decent match for what it was. It was just very damn short. Like, it was only 8 minutes, 55 seconds. Like, Tony Khan, what are you doing? It's the only women's match on the show. Are you just going to give it that little time? Like, what does that say about your women's division?
I saw I saw that question. Oh, I was you're good. I I saw the question that was asked to Tony Khan about, hey, there's only one women, that good stuff, and the way Khan answered that question, I was like, dude, this motherfucker don't care about women's wrestling. Oh my god, he really don't care. Kind of shocked. I look, for it to be the only women's match on the card should have 15 to 20 minutes at least.
Yeah, agreed. Like, if it's going to be the only women's match on the show, especially, these weren't just for, like, like names no one really knew. Like, these were for the biggest names in the women's division all in one match. Like, Saraya, Tony Storm, Hikaru Shida, and Britt Baker, like four of the biggest names in that women's division, and you only give them 9 minutes? Like, come on. And like, at least give them some time. Give them at least 15 minutes, at least. But it was still a decent match for how short it was. Obviously, the winner is very controversial. Some people like it, some people absolutely hate it. Most hate it. I'm quite indifferent on it because I can see why they did it. It's a subscription. Cheers, dude. I'm sure Tyler appreciates it since his channel, but yeah, I appreciate it nonetheless. But yeah, I'm very indifferent to the winner. I can see why they did it, but at the same time, it's just like Hikaru Shida just won the belt. Literally, only just won the belt, and you take the title off her. It's just a bit. But I can see why they did it because obviously, in London,
I hate
UK,
I'm not saying this because it's AEW. I hate it when they do it in WWE. I hate when they take a title off someone for like a shock value thing and then literally does the same thing for something else. That's what they did. And I don't like that. And I will say this. I do appreciate you subscribing. I always say it, but I was trying to, leave the uh, room to him. But I really do hate when a company or anybody does that where like they had yes.
Tony came out to the UK national theme. Yeah, we were Rocky by Queen. I popped that shit. I popped so fucking hard. Like, I love both the theme songs she used. To be honest, I love We Were Rocky by Queen, and I do like Number Five by Falling in Reverse. I will put my hands up and say that's a bang of a theme. So yeah, but yeah, go on, Katana, continue.
But no, I just hate when a company does that. Like they had Tony drop the belt to who is it? Sheeta
Hikaru Shida.
drop the belt to her and then boom, she drops the belt. I I I hate when they do that. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I find it kind of pointless. Like, if you're gonna have Hikaru Shida win the belt just to drop it at the four-way, you could have just had Tony just go in as champion and have Tony lose the belt to Saraya. Like, if you're just going to do that, why have Hikaru Shida just have a 2-week reign? I think it was, or however long it was. I don't know exactly how long it was, but I know it was like ridiculously short. So I just don't see the point in it. But I can see why they put the title on Saraya. I don't think I necessarily agree with it, but like I said, I'm indifferent to it. And it is sort of like a nice moment for Saraya. Like, say what you will about Saraya and your opinions on her, but the fact that she came back from retirement and all that to now have won the women's title in front of 80,000 people, like in a home country, like, say what you will, that is a good moment for someone. So there is some good in it. So I can't shit on it too much. But yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next match I'm going to talk about. Uh, like I said, the Blackpool Combat Club match, good match. It was just very chaotic for me that I couldn't really strictly pay attention. So, go on. I see you were about to say something, Tyler. Go on.
yeah, like I said, I haven't watched it, but I seen so much thing on Twitter of people being there. No one gives a damn about him. I
Yeah,
see.
no one cares.
I seen a lot of people on Twitter or people that went to the show like, I'm gonna have to rewatch it on pay per view or buy it or something because I couldn't really tell what was going on because it was just so everywhere. I seen so many stuff like that. So it's funny how you literally described it like anybody did, like on. I'm still calling it Twitter, even though it's on whatever. But like a lot of people like said it like that. It's funny. It's funny how you literally described it, how people do it on Twitter. So
Yeah, that's literally how it was. Like, I was trying to divide all my attention to the match, and I was enjoying like certain spots. Don't get me wrong, certain spots were cool. But like, just in terms of like having my attention drawn throughout the entirety of the match, it was impossible because I was just like, okay, this person's doing this person's doing this, what's this person doing? It was like keeping track of like 5 different matches. I was like, what the fuck's going on? So yeah, apart from that, it was an alright match. Just too chaotic for my liking. I'm going to talk about Will Ospreay, Chris Jericho next, and oh, what a match! Honestly, so good, so good. And don't get me started on Jericho's entrance. Whoa. That match was just absolute chaos. Pentagon had a wardrobe change from black to red ring gear. Yeah, he did. I caught that. But yeah, don't get me started on Jericho's entrance. That shit gave me goosebumps like no other. Like, just being in the crowd, just hearing 80,000 people singing along to Judas while it's being played live by Fozzy and Jericho singing it while going to the so good, so good, and the match was even better. Will Ospreay to God, that's all I'm saying. Will Ospreay to God in that ring. Like, I don't know how he does it. Like, he just, every match Will Ospreay's in, he just puts on banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger. And especially like this last month, I saw something on Twitter. He's like in the last month, he's beaten the likes of Omega, Okada, Shingo, and now Jericho. It's just like that man is killing it right now. Like, listen, like in terms of like people who's on a run right now, there's nobody like doing it arguably better than Ospreay is at the moment in time. Honestly, I don't know how he does it. So yeah, fair dues to Ospreay. Like, he's mad. But yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for how good MJF and Adam Cole was, that'd have been my match of the night. I thought it was gonna be my match of the night. As soon as the match was over between Ospreay and Jericho, I was like, nothing's stopping that. But then Adam Cole and MJF did just that in the main event. Only by a little bit, mind, but I'll get onto that in a second. The acclaimed versus House of Black. One thing I will say about House of Black, their entrance.
I saw it.
Oh, the lantern, the people doing the fireflies, bro, it almost had me in tears. I'm not gonna lie, almost had me in tears. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Rest in peace. Like, all right, I will say a bit about Bray Wyatt, considering I haven't like actually said anything about Bray Wyatt on here or anywhere since it happened. House of Black losing wasn't a good idea to me. I will say it depends on how you see it. It depends how you see it. In my opinion, I think it was because like everyone was behind the Acclaimed. Everyone wanted the Acclaimed to win. So in terms of that big moment, I can see why they did it. But yeah, anyway, about Bray Wyatt. It's such a shame to lose Bray, honestly. Like, one of the most creative minds in WWE history. And after all the stories I've heard about Bray since he passed from many superstars in WWE, just shows how much of a good person he was, how much of a great family man he was, how supportive he was to everyone in the wrestling scene. Like, honestly, it just goes to show just how selfless he was. And God, man, I just remember the moment that I found out that Bray passed. I was in work. I was just in work, just like sort of like just having a break, just going through like Twitter. And I just see Triple H's tweet pop up on my timeline, literally just freshly after it got tweeted. I think it was like 10 minutes after it got tweeted out or something. And I was just reading it. And I just couldn't believe what I was reading. Like, I thought I was in a dream. Like, I was in disbelief. I was just like, this can't be real. Like, I'm having a nightmare or something. Like, this can't be real. And then it took a moment for like all to just sink in, and I could not focus for the rest of the night in terms of like doing work. Like, obviously I did work because I have to, but I just couldn't focus. Like, it hit me so freaking hard. And God, like, I just couldn't believe it. Like, just randomly, boom. Like, we were just hearing not long ago that Bray was close to returning, and he was on a fast track to recovery, complete recovery, and then all of a sudden, boom, just randomly, just out of the blue, just he's gone. It's just, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, like, the moments on Raw and SmackDown, just they did it so perfectly. Like, especially on Raw, like they had like the chair, and they had everyone do the fireflies and Bray's like original theme playing. That was perfect. They couldn't have done that any more perfectly. Just to pay tribute to Bray.
I didn't say this on the vlog I had with when I went to the Super Show. My only gripe when I was retired for what, 2 or 3.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, go on.
Is when when they were showing like the Bray's video from SmackDown and all that, they showed some of it. Every A lot of people had their it. It was a good moment, but everyone, I mean, because everyone just went straight to their phones and did their flashlights and all that when they showed that, and they were just showing it. They weren't they No one came over the microphone or anything to do it. And I don't know, because I saw so many Bray stuff, and it wasn't like newer stuff that they had done to help out his family, JoJo, and all that. It was like old stuff, and like to me, that's like if you got old stuff like that that ain't like new and everything, like that just shows how much people really like Bray. But the only thing I'll remember is to what I said in my video is Bray never cared about 5-star matches. So, or he was all about storytelling. So that's one thing. That's one thing I can respect with Bray, because he didn't care if he had this match, this match. He wanted a great moment and a great story. So that's that's one thing I will always, and I always respected Bray for that. But I hope everyone respects it for him now, especially with that unfortunately happening. I mean, it's just life. It's just life, and sometimes life is very, very unfair and everything.
Extremely unfair. But yeah, the main thing is Bray will always be remembered, like from by everyone. Like so many countless like moments. Like you can say Bray had his like moments where he could have been booked way better, and that is true. But you
Hmm.
can't take away at the same time the moments he's had in WWE. Like you can think of like the matches he's had with Cena at WrestleMania, The Undertaker. Like you can think of like his debut as the Fiend, like him winning the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber, his return at Extreme Rules. Like you can think of so many moments like in his career, like his whole Wyatt family stint, their feud with the Shield. What's shocking is the Firefly Funhouse was around 10 minutes of WrestleMania 36. Yeah, but Firefly Funhouse match was quite memorable. Like still quite memorable for those 10 minutes. So again, like you said, Tyler, Bray never cared about 5-star matches, but you damn sure he cared about storytelling and making memorable moments that will stick with you. And that's what Bray did. So what he was trying to do, he accomplished. So no matter what, Bray will always be remembered as one of the best creative minds in WWE history and one of the best like people as well. So just rest in peace, Bray. We will miss you very dearly. But yeah, just wanted to say that about Bray, considering I hadn't had the chance to actually say something about Bray in person. But yeah, back to the House of Black and the Acclaimed. Good match. The Acclaimed, extremely hilarious in their entrance. Like he was just rapping out, and he made a diss about Prince Andrew. Like they're a bigger disgrace than Prince Andrew. Oh, everyone fucking like pissed themselves when we heard about that. And there was also like a Harry Potter like reference as well. It was like, there's Harry, Hermione, and Ron Weasley. Everyone was dying. But yeah, everyone loves the Acclaimed. Like to be honest, I like the Acclaimed. Like I didn't know too much of the Acclaimed before seeing them live. I'm not gonna lie, because again, I'm not really like I'm not too big into AEW. To like I don't watch on a consistent basis or anything. But yeah, I can see why everyone loves the Acclaimed. They are so funny, and they're very entertaining. So yeah. Um, Plus their whole gimmick is just like you need those gimmicks sometimes in wrestling. Those gimmicks are not serious in the fucking slightest, but they're just hilarious and they're entertaining to watch. You need those types of gimmicks
Yeah.
in wrestling. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the Acclaimed from what I saw of them. But yeah, I'm happy for them that they won the titles. At the same time, I love House of Black. I especially love Malachi. So like I'm as sad as it was to see him lose the match. Seeing the moment everyone going mad for the Acclaimed, like it was just a nice moment. So I can't complain. But yeah. And no, I think it's just the main event now I need to talk about. Yeah, I think. Yes. So Adam Cole MJF. Oh God, what can I say about this match that hasn't already been said about on Twitter and that? But honestly, from start to finish, incredible match in terms of. Wait, I saw the Acclaim twice in my hometown of STL. Nice, man, nice. But yeah, Adam Cole MJF from start to finish in terms of like the match and also the storytelling, they killed it. Like I remember so many times just losing my mind in that match in terms of like there was like the moments where like MJF like had Adam Cole like in a like pile driver position on the announce table and he just couldn't do it. But then Adam Cole had like when he had the opportunity to, he didn't hesitate. Um just a little dynamic of just like, oh, we'll wrestle each other, but at the same time we're friends, so like we won't do this certain thing to each other. We're just like, no, should we do it? No, like it was just great storytelling. Like also when there was like this moment where it actually cost Adam Cole the match. When the referee was taken out, MJF was on the ground. Adam Cole had the AEW title, and he was like ready to smash MJF with it and win in that sort of way, but he just couldn't fucking do it. He was just like, I can't do it, throws it away, and then MJF capitalizes to get a roll up on Cole and pins him 1, 2, 3. Just that whole storytelling was great. Um, the the moment was quite cool was when both men pinned each other with a double clothesline, and then Adam Cole got on the mic and was just like, "No, this is not ending this way. 5 more minutes, Max. 5 more minutes. Let's end this." And then Max got onto the mic and was just like, "Nah, this doesn't just need 5 minutes. We're gonna go until one person fucking wins," and just fucking slams the mic down and just continues. Like everyone lost their minds. But yeah, incredible match, honestly. Some of the Panama Sunrise spots as well were so nasty, especially one on the outside. Like that had me cringe. Yeah, honestly, both men killed it. I want to see this continue, like in some shape or form. I feel like it will. The whole Roderick Strong like sort of dynamic was cool as well. Like how Roderick Strong came out near the end of the match and tried to convince Adam Cole to do what needs to be done in order to beat MJF, but he just couldn't do it. And then Roderick Strong just walked away. But yeah, I honestly thought Adam Cole was going to turn. That's what I thought was going to happen going into it, but they didn't do it. But I feel like it's going to happen at some point. They certainly teased it after the match when MJF sort of was like trying to console Adam Cole and gave him the Ring of Honor tag team title, and Adam Cole sort of threw it away at first, and then MJF was standing in the middle of the ring just like this, just like, "Go on then, hit me if you're gonna hit me," and then Adam Cole didn't do it in the end, and they hugged it out, and it was just a wholesome moment. But it's coming. I feel like it's coming. A turn is coming, whether it be MJF or Adam Cole. I think it's going to be Adam Cole. But yeah, also, honestly, and I didn't know just how over MJF was. Like between Adam Cole and MJF, MJF was actually the one most cheered for. Like MJF was more over than Adam Cole. I honestly thought going into it that Adam Cole was going to be the more cheered one, but no, MJF was over as shit. So yeah, I feel like Adam Cole is definitely going to be the one to turn, and a heel Adam Cole versus the face MJF would soon be interesting. But yeah, overall, couldn't have enough good things to say about that match in terms of the actual match and the storytelling behind it. Killed it, absolutely killed it. And yeah, we'll see where they go from here. Now that they're Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, see where they go from there, and see if Adam Cole is eventually the one to take the title off MJF. I feel like he is. I feel like Adam Cole is going to be the one to eventually take the title off MJF. Just when the turn happens, and Adam Cole will do what needs to be done. But yeah, overall, AEW All In, I will give a show rating of 8.5 out of 10. That's what I'll rate it as. Could have been slightly better if some matches were, slightly more like able to pay attention to, namely one match. But yeah, overall, yeah, great show. Can't really complain.
I do have to watch the pay-per-view, which I really will. But 8.5 out of 10 is very, very solid. And I mean, I heard a lot of good stuff about it and all that, so I'm not surprised. Um, damn, we still got okay. Well, um, so at the India show that they have coming up, we got John Cena. We got John Cena for 2 straight months on SmackDown. He must know something we don't because if he's on SmackDown for 2 straight months, where the fuck is The Rock at? Because they must strike big time. The Rock has no excuse now. So, but the India thing, John Cena is supposed to tag team with Seth versus Imperium, which is going to be Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni. They two at the live event were one of the funniest people at the damn show, especially Ludwig Kaiser. Oh my god, he was so funny. Um, I feel like this is just heading to a Cena and Gunther match eventually.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, as soon as he's teaming with Seth against Imperium, it just makes you think, like facing Imperium, eh? I can see where this is going. Yeah, honestly, if they do Cena Gunter, that's gonna be good. That is gonna be good.
I and look, John has conserved himself the last few matches, rightfully so because he hasn't done it, on a normal basis. But with him doing this for 2 straight months, if we get a Gunther and John Cena match out of this, I feel like Cena is going to go all out for that. I feel like he will.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Like, he's going to put all of his attention to that. He's going to put on a classic with Gunter. Like, Gunter's already had some incredible matches in his Intercontinental title reign. Like, add that with Cena. Oh,
That'd be crazy.
it's going to be tasty. It's going to be tasty.
Another tag team match.
I heard that he's wrestling a slew of talent from Raw, NXT, and SmackDown across the 2 months. NXT as well? Wow. Interesting. It would be interesting.
I give it to you know Cena put KO over. What if he did that to Carmelo Hayes though?
I was going to say Kamala Hayes. Ooh.
Cena did that, but Cena's got to win some of these matches. But that one, I would love for him to put over Hayes. But that's another tag team match that's happening at the India show, and we'll talk about them later because it might change, but probably not. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defending the title against whatever the fuck they're called, Veer Mahan and whoever his tag team partner is. I can't even remember. Veer Mahan. Um, this has to be a Vince McMahon move. This has to be a Vince.
In the share, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
To be honest, I completely forgot as well. But yeah, thanks for that. In the share, yeah, that's the one.
care about this tag team. We haven't seen them on television in over 2 months. Why? I know they're in India. I get it. I get it.
That's literally the only reason they're doing this, because they're in India.
That's
That's
a
literally the only reason.
Vince move. That's not a Triple H type of move. Triple H is going to have these guys in a battle royale or something and have them win it, if anything. I don't care about this. I don't care about this. I saw this and I was like, oh my god, I should have knew it was coming since they were going to have a show there. But
Sammy and KO will retain anyway. So as long as they retain, God forbid if Indus win the titles. Oh my God. Oh no! Let's not stall that into existence, please. God no. Just
uh,
Sammy and KO just have it be an easy win. 1, 2, 3. They retain. Just get it over with.
if they do lose to this team out of all the teams that they faced, I don't know. The Endeavor merger is the takeover merger and all that is going to happen in September. Um, Probably going to be a lot of talents, getting the boot because I mean they've got to.
Jabroni Mahal is probably going to interfere. Yeah. They're still going to lose, though, hopefully. Don't get me started on Jinder. Jesus Christ almighty. Oh, God. Does anyone remember his title reign for 2017? Almost made me stop watching completely. Good Christ. Ugh. Yeah, gone.
Hey, don't hinder the gender. Come on now.
Jesus Christ, Tyler. You want me to die. But, yeah, God, I will hinder the gender so many fucking times, especially with that
But
fucking horrible title reign.
poor Randy Orton. But
Poor Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura lost twice to that motherfucker in that title reign. What the fuck?
you know what's bad? The only one I really remember is Randy Orton. I even remember that he beat Nakamura twice. That's how
Yeah, SummerSlam and Hell in a Cell. Oh,
bad I didn't care about the reign. But every takeover, so there's probably going to be a lot of people that gets the boot come September, October, and all that. And Triple H commented on this and said, "Let's just get this fucking thing over with." So, so I think he's ready for it to be over with, so he can sign some of the people he wants to, bring them in, and then some people are going to, unfortunately, probably go to AEW or just Impact or something on the indie scene. Um, damn. Okay. Ronda Rousey possibly returning to the UFC so she can just get her ass beat a little bit more. Um, so I will say this. Um, Someone told I told him, I said, yeah, hey, Ronda might be going back to UFC. I watched a good bit. It's like, oh, is she done with wrestling? I said, well, she should have been done years ago, but I mean, said what, she wasn't good. I said, wasn't good. I mean, hell, I said I could have went out there and did better than her, and I don't care. I couldn't even be near a ring. But uh, all jokings aside, if she is actually doing a return to UFC and everything, good on her for that. She probably should have stayed in the UFC, but she did get more money doing WWE, so you got props her for that. So hopefully her UFC return is a lot better than most of everything we saw in the ring.
yeah. Just stick to UFC from now on, Honda. We don't need you back in WWE anymore. You've had your time. Goodbye. We don't need you anymore. Just continue doing what you do best. Getting your
Okay.
ass whooped.
All right. I got 4 more topics and then we're going to go to other stuff and all that. Um, Edge, do you think he is fully retired?
No. Maybe at this moment, yes, but I don't think he'll stay retired forever. Because Edge has kept this open. He has literally said, for now, maybe he's done, yes, but he didn't specifically say that he is definitely done. So yeah, he sort of kept it open, and for me, that tells me that he might think about coming back if the right match pops up, if the right occasion. Like you said, he has an extension waiting in his emails. So literally, like, I don't think he's going to be gone forever. I think maybe around Royal Rumble, WrestleMania time, like that, like the road to WrestleMania. I think he might just return and do one more match for around WrestleMania, and then
I can see that.
depends on the opponent. I think it really does depend on the opponent and just how and what the situation would be. Because he also did say he doesn't know if a moment like that, even at WrestleMania, would top what he did at Toronto. So we'll see. I see him as a backstage personnel for WWE in a few months to a year's time. Oh, definitely, yeah. Um, I maybe like after he's fully retired. Well, maybe he's fully retired now, but like maybe he'll like stay away for like a little bit just to rest and all that, like just take some time for himself and his family. But then I could definitely see him doing a backstage personnel type role for sure because he has the wrestling knowledge to do all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could definitely see him doing that.
Um, if he had a final opponent, who would it be?
Good question. Um, in terms of someone who he's had a lot of matches with and a lot of history with in the past, there is one that stands out: John Cena. Considering Cena is arguably his biggest rival of all time, that would make sense. Alternatively, yeah, literally there, right there, Cena. Yeah, Cena is just the obvious one. In terms of someone new, that's a good question. I don't really know because he's sort of wrestled all the biggest names now in the company now. Now it seems like I'm trying to think of one he hasn't, but I think he's wrestled everyone by now.
I wouldn't I
Yeah,
wouldn't I wouldn't have him as his final, but someone that I would like to see him with is Cody. Him and Cody.
yes, that would be cool. Um, s- this actually would be ideal if he was still in the company as for a final match. Considering actually, this is the most poetic I think final match you could have. Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, imagine that Edge versus Christian, both men's last match, Edge versus Christian. Can you imagine? But no, since he's now in AEW, that is unlikely to happen.
Yeah,
Unless he went to AEW,
I don't think he is.
but
I
I don't think that'll happen. Then.
I don't think AEW, but the only thing I will say is I think Cena's the right opponent. If Cena's not available, the only other one I would say if he was still wrestling and hopefully he'll come back soon, that'd be Randy Orton. So I think it's either gotta be them two
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, agreed. But I think yeah, Cena is the obvious one here.
Yeah. Let's talk about Gable Stevenson. He, I don't know if you've seen this. I watched the Great American Bash pay per view for NXT, and
I didn't.
they booed the fuck out of him. Okay, so he's supposed to be the good guy. They're over here cheering for Baron Corbin.
That's how you know. That is how you know you're fucked. If Baron Corbin is getting cheered over you, then you're in trouble.
And I'm gonna be honest,
God.
there's a lot of stuff and backlash from him and about. I'm not even going to say it, but we haven't even seen him since then. I don't know if WWE already gave up on him. So I mean,
If I'm WWE, I would. Like, after all the backlash he's had, I wouldn't push on with it.
honestly, I would too. Um, last two topics, and then we're going to go to the Premier League talk, and then we're going to go to Payback. Um, shout out to her. You might not like her or anything, but shout out to her for making probably about to be making a good amount of money with her OnlyFans, and that is Lacey Evans. She, I know this is old news and everything about her being gone with the company and everything, but today, today is if you didn't know, and the only reason I knew Gable for scoring greatest crowd reaction for the return is that it should have been. When was that? I can't remember. That might have been in NXT, but I can't remember that. But I don't know what her damn real name is, but she opened up her OnlyFans. If you want to go and subscribe, it is on her Twitter. Okay.
Some people would be down bad, down horrendously. Ugh.
And look,
Me personally, I cannot relate.
I have never I've never paid for that, and definitely wouldn't now. I'm married. I don't that don't really interest me. You can't look. I'm always honest. You you can't you can't say anything and look at her and be like she don't look good. So
Mm.
people are going to just dash out that money and everything. So
Yeah, fair play to Lacey. She's getting that bread. She's getting the cash. So
yeah.
fair play to her.
And the last thing I want to talk about is on Raw this upcoming week. We got Gunther versus Chad Gable for the Intercontinental Championship. And I wish this was after Payback, after he broke the record, because I feel like Chad Gable is the person to dethrone Gunther. But I don't know.
No, I. Some would say sadly, some would say, you know, but I don't think it'll happen. Certainly not now. Not before the record hasn't been broken yet.
No.
Gunther's breaking the record, so it's obvious Gunther's retaining. It's just, how is Gunther retaining? Because surely now Gunther's just going to win clean, because they're not going to have, unless they have Gunther win by cheating and they do a third match. But I don't know, because it feels like to me they had Gable beat Gunther by count out to sort of put him over in a sense, but he's not actually going to be the one to beat Gunther for the title, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to be the one to do it, unfortunately. Maybe he arguably should be, but I don't think he's going to be. Mm.
Hey.
So, but either way, it's going to be a great match. But yeah, I don't see it.
I don't know. I would want him to be, but oh well. All right.
Especially seeing as the Gunther Cena match is possibly going to be coming up. So, wait, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but can you imagine if they don't have Gable beat Gunther and they instead have Cena be the one to beat Gunther? Cena hasn't won the IC title before. That's all I'm saying. Cena hasn't won the IC title before. They could do it just for that reason. I don't think they would, but you never know.
I want Cena to chase after 17. I don't care about no
Yeah,
Continental Championship run. I want him
no.
after 17, and I want him to get it. Look, I'm gonna be that person. I want him to get to 17 before Charlotte gets to 17, because it might be
Yeah, Yeah, God, no, please. Yeah, I'd rather Cena get to 17 and break Rick's record before Charlotte does. Jesus. So yeah, Cena can win number 17. That's cool and all, but yeah, no one really cares about the IC title in terms of seeing Cena win it. Like, yeah, it'd be sort of cool because it's the only title he hasn't won, but at the end of the day, everyone just wants to see Cena win the 17th title. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, Premier League. Let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about it as much as I can with you, and I feel like at least a little bit more than what I used to. So
Alrighty then. Okay, so well, first off, I'm going to. All right, so for anyone who's not football fans, like you can either choose to listen or you can choose not to. I don't really mind, but for those who are interested, then enjoy. Okay, so first I'm going to talk about Liverpool, considering it's mine and Tyler's team. Talk about that in full detail, and then I'll go on and talk about other teams and some of the results that have happened and some of the game weeks. Okay, good afternoon, and I'll see you. Okay, Blake, catch you later.
have a great have a great day.
You too. All right, uh, so Liverpool. All right, so first game of the season was against Chelsea, and it was a good result for what it was, especially considering we didn't really have the best performance overall in that first match, and we could have easily have lost that game against Chelsea. We were 1-0 up with Luis Diaz getting a goal, but we conceded shortly afterwards. I think it was right before the end of the first half. Um, but in terms of like the second half, Chelsea were all over us. We couldn't get the ball, and this was before we signed Endo, so we had no CDM. We were playing McAllister in CDM, so it was just yeah, we weren't able to get the ball and retain the ball in any way, shape, or form. It was just Chelsea, all Chelsea throughout the second half. So we could have easily have lost that game. So a 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge, good result for all it was. And then we beat Bournemouth 3-1. Good result, especially considering we were 1-0 down in the first 5 minutes. In fact, we conceded 2 goals in the first 5 minutes. We conceded a goal, it got disallowed due to offside, thank God. And instead of switching on after that disallowed goal and being like, okay, time to switch on, we got away with 1-0, let's switch on and not let them score again. What did we do? They scored again. And this time it was actually onside. So we were 1-0 down in the first 5 minutes. So I thought, here we go again. Um, but no, to be fair to us, we came back and we scored 3 goals. Luis Diaz with another goal, Salah with a penalty, and who scored the third? Who scored the third? Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota scored the third goal.
I was about to.
Yeah. So yeah, overall, yeah, good performance in that second game, especially in the second half. We were just all over Bournemouth. That red card with McAllister was bullshit, and it actually, yeah, it did seriously turn out to be bullshit considering it got overturned. So McAllister did end up playing against Newcastle, thankfully. But yeah, that red card when that first happened, oh, I was fuming. Like I was happy with the win, but I was fuming at that red card because that was such a bullshit decision. Like that was never a red.
Look. I can tell a difference between a yellow, red, and whatever. Play on. When I saw red, I was almost about to message and group message and be like, "Wait a minute, whoa. Did I see something? Did I miss something out of that?" But luckily, it got overturned, like you said.
Yeah, like you could just see by McAllister's face as well when he received the yellow card, the red card. He was just like, "What?" Like he was just like he just couldn't believe it. Like he was just in complete shock. It was a red. He was like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like it was a 50-50 like challenge. Like yeah, his studs were up a tiny bit. So like if it was like any harder contact, then I can see it being a red. But like he barely grazed him with his foot, and it was a 50-50 challenge. Both men going for the ball. No like severe intent on it or whatsoever. So yeah, it was a yellow, never a red. Um, But yeah, apart from the whole red card shenanigans, it was a good win against Bournemouth 3-1. And now we go on to the most recent game that happened against Newcastle when we won 2-1. Oh, I'm so fucking sad that I didn't see it live because I would have gone absolutely mental at the two Nunes goals.
Hey,
But
dude, I was debating on going to bed and not watching the game, and I'm glad I watched the game, even though I suffered with little to no sleep. But when Newcastle scored that first goal, I was like, "Oh my god!" And then when the red card happened,
oh,
with Van Dijk, I was like, And that one, what did you think about that?
I personally think it is red. Yes. Like it's a bit soft the challenge. Like what happened was he sort of like when Van Dijk did the challenge, he sort of went through Isak's legs and hit the ball afterwards. So it is technically a foul. And even though the challenge itself is not like a red card challenge, the situation it was in, Isak was through on goal and he was one on one with Alisson essentially, and Van Dijk was last man. The rules is if you commit a foul and you're last man, it's a red card. So by that rule, yeah, I will agree that Van Dijk's red card was deserved. Um, it's a soft red, but it's a red, in my
That's
honest opinion, in my unbiased opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, man, if it's a red, it's a very soft red. But I don't know. For me, I laid in the bed. I actually watched it on my phone, even though I had a television right in front of me like a dummy. I'm over here on my phone watching it. I don't know why. When it got to the second half, and we got 10 people, and I'm thinking, oh no.
Thing is, I was in Wembley Stadium at the time. I was like sitting down. The pre-show was on. I was just sort of like keeping an eye on the score. I literally like looked at my phone and I was just like, all right, what's the score? And then I saw the Newcastle were 1-0 up and Van Dijk got sent off literally a couple of minutes after the goal. It's like, oh, I'm switching off. Fuck it. Literally, I was just here just like, oh, we've lost this. Fuck it. I lost hope. Literally, legit lost all hope of us ever getting anything from that game. I thought we were going to lose that guaranteed.
Well,
And like, especially since it was Van Dijk sent off, I was like, oh, we've got no chance.
the power of hope that I had, it was probably when it got to like the close to the 70th minute, and I'm thinking, man, I need to just turn this off, get about 15 minutes extra sleep than I'm going to get, or 15 or 30 minutes extra sleep, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I don't do that to any of my other teams, and I'm thinking, man, I was like, nah, 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 I'm gonna watch it, and I'm like, and that's when they started to turn around, like they got in their defense. So I don't know the terms, but they were getting a lot of good looks. That's how I would put it.
Yeah, they were getting a lot of chances. Yeah. So yeah, I actually there was someone who tweeted out like a 15 to 20 minute video after Darwin Nunez got subbed on and how he changed the game like immediately after he got subbed on. So Darwin Nunez comes off the bench, and all of a sudden we look like a much like much more threatening team. We took it to Newcastle, even while we were a man down, just took it to them. And I remember, like, obviously, I wasn't watching the game. I was watching AEW, but someone behind me, like, noticed I was looking at the score like earlier on, so they know I was a Liverpool fan, and they were keeping an eye at the same time too. So I was just randomly watching the show. All of a sudden, I feel someone tap behind my back, and I turned around, and they just showed me the phone like 2-1 Liverpool. I was like, yeah! I was freaking out. I was just like, all right, who scored this? Darwin Nunez, you sexy bastard. Honestly, I was going mental. But yeah, Darwin Nunez is a baller, man. I fucking love that guy. Honestly, what a guy. He needs to be starting more games. Honestly, I especially now after that, like those two goals is going to give him so much confidence. Start him, Klopp. Start him against Aston Villa, who we've got next. Start him in that game, please. He needs to carry this momentum. But yeah, there was two really good finishes as well. I've seen the goals, like um, both like at an angle where he was on like the far right side of the pitch, and he sort of shot it across the goal, across the keeper into the far left corner. It was just like
The,
good finishes.
the first one's better than the second one.
Yeah, the first one especially was really good. It sort of hits off the post and goes in. It's just like, whoa, what a finish. But yeah, honestly, uh, there's no better feeling in football than when your football team scores a last minute winner. There is no better feeling, especially like if it's like in injury time, like in like 90 plus something, and it was 90 plus 3 in this case. There is no better feeling than when your team scores a last minute winner. The adrenaline and the euphoria you feel after it goes in. Just
So it's crazy because it was on. Let's see. Yeah, it was on the USA Network for me. So it's crazy because I'm listening to the announcers when when Nunes scores the first one, and then we get to extra time, injury time, extra time, whatever, and they're saying set, and they were literally on point and saying Newcastle has crumbled and something like that, and Liverpool has a big chance to win this game and take you away from them. I'm thinking, oh no, no way, no way, no way. So when he scores that second one, I literally jumped out of the bed and like I was at the game, and I was like, I just started yelling out his name and everything, and luckily no one's at my house because they what the hell is going what is wrong with him?
why is this man shouting Nunes, Nunes, Nunes?
So I mean that's to me that I've seen a lot of comebacks when it comes to sports and everything, but watching that comeback, especially down one man and everything, that was really really good.
Yeah, man. Liverpool have scored the most goals and the most winners in like late in the game, like last minute, the most in Premier League, like most of any team. So one thing you can never say about us: do not count us out ever. Do not count us out. We will fight to the end. Obviously, we won't do it every single time, but you damn right we'll try. But yeah, the reason why the announcers said that, the commentators, it's because they could just sense it. Like they could just sense that when Nunes came on, Newcastle just sort of like lost control, and we just sort of took it to them. And they were not expecting that. They were not expecting us to just take it to them, despite us going down to 10 men. What Newcastle should have done after they brought us down to 10 men, they should have just kept it going. I mean, to be fair, they did. They had their chances. I saw the highlights, and Allison made an absolute worldy
Yeah.
save. Oh
Yes.
my God, Alisson Becker, you sexy Brazilian bastard! I love him so much. Honestly, the amount of times Alisson has saved us from losing games is honestly unheard of. He has the most difficult job. I swear to God, like he bails us out time and time and time and time and time again. But yeah, he just makes a worldy save that makes the ball crash under the bar and just about stays out. It's just like what a save. But yeah, what a win that was against Newcastle. We needed that, especially going down to 10 men. Fair play. If this shows how much better we are this season. If this was us last season, we'd have lost that game about 3-0. I'm not taking the piss. Going down to 10 men like that early in the game, we would have lost that like 3-4-0. Easy. So the fact that we kept our heads and we managed to come back and win the game and get all 3 points, what a win. But now we just got to keep that going. Unfortunately, we will now be without Van Dijk for a few games because of the red card. And now he's got an added game where he's missing because he got punished due to like shouting, arguing with the referee after he got red carded, which every footballer does. But for some reason, when it's a Liverpool player, they like to punish us. Mm. Fucking referees. And also, let me just say, a referee elbowed Robertson in the face last season. Did the referee get punished for it? No, of course not. The referees can do whatever the fuck they want. But I could go into a whole conversation about this, but we'll be here all day. But yeah, we just got to keep this going. We now got Aston Villa in our next game, so which is gonna be tough, but because Aston Villa are a good team, but I feel like we will get the win there and just keep it going. We just need to keep winning football games and just see where the season goes and see how far we can go. But right now we are sitting fourth in the league, which is very good. We're tied fourth along with Tottenham, West Ham, and Arsenal, and yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are the four that are on the same amount of points. Man City are first, of course they are. Man City are the only team so far that have won all three of their first three games, because of course they are. It's Man City. But yeah, all right. Now I'm going to talk about like the rest of the teams. So I'm going to go from top to bottom. Man City first place, shocker. They beat Burnley, Newcastle, and Sheffield. United, it's City. They're gonna take some stopping. Even though they've lost De Bruyne, they're still just gonna keep going. They've now signed Matheus Nunes from Wolves, so good signing for them. They're just gonna keep doing what they're doing. Hopefully they'll slip up at some point, but I don't see it. Second place, West Ham. West Ham, man, they're looking good. They're looking good. I'm shocked by this. I generally went into the season thinking they were going to be nothing special, but fair play to West Ham. They started off the season good. They drew against Bournemouth at the first game of the season, which when that happened, I was just like, okay, yeah, literally what I thought. They're not going to be anything spectacular. But then they signed James Ward-Prowse, and James Ward-Prowse has been a revelation for them. They sort of like just given him a new leash on life. Like he's got like a goal and 2 assists in his first 2 games. So fair play, James Ward-Prowse. They beat Chelsea, which fair play West Ham beating Chelsea, and then they beat this is more impressive because of how good Brighton have been. But they beat Brighton like 3-1, I think. Which Brighton, before their game against West Ham, they were top of the league. They have scored the most amount of goals as well, I think, in the Premier League so far, Brighton. So they've been very impressive, Brighton. But West Ham getting a win over them is ridiculously impressive. So fair play to West Ham. Third, Tottenham. Tottenham have looked very nice. And this is what I thought was going to happen. Under Postecoglou, they're going to be playing a lot more attacking football. It's going to play to their strengths. Even though they've lost Harry Kane, I did think they were going to struggle if they lost Harry Kane, which they have lost Harry Kane to Bayern Munich. And I thought they were going to struggle. But to be fair, haven't. They've sort of pushed on without him, and they still look like a very good team. I'm impressed with our run at the moment, buzzing. Yes, Josh! I'm glad that you're impressed. Who knows how long it's going to last for you guys, but right now enjoy it while you can because you guys are doing very well. And like I said before, James Ward-Prowse has been an immense for you lot. So, which I expected because Ward-Prowse is a quality player. But yeah, Tottenham have been very good themselves. Yeah, like I said, I thought they were going to show without Harry Kane, but they sort of pushed on and been doing their own thing. James Maddison has been a very good signing for them so far. Like people who are doing FPL, maybe getting James Maddison in your FPL team because he may get you a lot of points. I might consider putting him in my team. I'm not going to lie, but yeah, James Maddison might end up being one of the signings for the season if this continues. Fourth, Liverpool. I've already talked about us in good detail. Fifth, Arsenal. Jason Ward-Prowse and Kudus, can't wait to see him play. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's going to be good for you, I feel. Fifth place, Arsenal. They sort of look shaky, Arsenal, so far. Especially considering compared to last season, they sort of start off a bit shaky. Still quite decent, but quite just inconsistent, a bit shaky at times. Especially since they just drew 2-2 with Nottingham Forest. Yeah, just not off to the very best of starts for Arsenal, but I still think they're going to be right up there this season.
I'm telling you, you know why they're starting off shaky?
Why?
KSI and them, they got their prime, with man, Holland. So top notch when it comes to having Prime on their team. So
to be fair to the whole Prime thing, Arsenal was sponsored by Prime when they nearly won the Premier League last season. So it's just for this occasion, it's not working out. It seems. But yeah, sixth place Brighton. Brighton have looked very, very good in the first two games, but then obviously then they lost to West Ham. I still can't believe West Ham beat Brighton. I was going into that game just really expecting Brighton just to do West Ham over. No offense, Josh, but fair play West Ham for getting that big result against Brighton because that was really impressive. But yeah, Brighton, they still look very bright considering they've lost a lot of their best players. They still got a lot of great players in their team though, so yeah, they'll be right up there. Um, we'll see if they can come back from their loss against West Ham. Will be interesting to see Arsenal in the Prem when UCL kicks off. Yeah, that's a fair point actually. Seeing as Arsenal will have the Champions League to deal with, and we'll see whether they'll be able to deal with the balance of the Champions League and the Premier League. We'll see. But yeah, it's not off to the best of start since how shaky Arsenal have been, but we'll see if they'll be able to stabilise. Seventh, Aston Villa. Aston Villa, that's a weird one. I was expecting to get slapped, I can't lie. Yeah, I think everyone was. But yeah, just incredible result for you lot. Makes me actually quite scared for when we face you, I'm not going to lie, especially with Will Prowse's team. I just don't want a fucking free kick to be funded in top bins. Aston Villa. What can I say about Aston Villa? Aston Villa are a weird one. They are looking very like a very good team. DRB is looking like a very good signing for Aston Villa so far. He's been hitting the ground running, so very good right spot for Aston Villa is DRB. So yeah, I feel like they're going to be right up there this season. Good start to the season overall for them, I'd say. Eighth, Manchester United. Now, say what you will about Manchester United. They have looked very shaky at the start of the season, especially they just got lucky against Forest, considering they went 2-0 down in the first 4 minutes. I can't believe they did that. They went 2-0 down in the first 4 minutes, but of course they came back and won 3-2. I was loving life, though, when they were 2-0 down in the first 4 minutes. I was loving life. But unfortunately, Forest fucked it and United came back. But yeah, fair play to United. I'll give the Devils their due for coming back and winning that game. They did show fight to come back from that. Considering I don't think last season they would have done that. I think last season, if they went 2-0 down like that, they wouldn't have come back and won. So at least they're showing some fight this season. But still not off to the best starts, all things considered, for United. But we'll see where it goes. Anything can happen. Ninth, Brentford. They've been solid considering they are without Ivan Toney, and they will be without him until January. So yeah, exactly what I expected from Brentford, to be honest. Like some people thought like Brentford were going to be like one of the worst teams in the league without Ivan Toney. I was like, no, they still got a very good team without Ivan Toney. Like, yeah, they won't be scoring as many goals without Toney, but they still have some goal scorers in their team, and they do have some very good players. So yeah, solid start for Brentford. 10th, Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea. They to be fair, they beat Luton, but it's Luton. So apart from Luton, they have looked to say the least. I think in terms of how they play, like in terms of in possession, they are looking good at creating chances. It's just they're not very good at finishing the chances. It seems against like the better teams. Like for us, they only scored one goal, and that was from like a centre back who managed to get on like I think it was like from a set piece. I can't really remember how it went, but I know there was like a cross into the box, and then it just fell to like Dizazi, I think his name is. But yeah, Nico Jackson, he's looked decent. Like he scored a good goal, good poacher goal against Luton, but again, it's Luton. But he has missed a lot of chances that were essentially put on a play for him. Sterling looked bright against Luton, but again, it's Luton. I could pretty say that with Chelsea just in general. Like the first two games of the season, they've looked good. For example, the game against us, they looked good. They just couldn't put away their chances, but they were the better team against us in terms of how they played. Um, Against West Ham, I laughed my ass off. I'm not gonna lie. Chelsea need a good number 9. They played well against us in all fairness. Yeah, that's the thing with Chelsea. In all three of their games, wait a second. There we go. In all three of their games, they've played well. It's just, again, they haven't been able to put away their chances and win games, except against Luton. But it's Luton. So, yeah, we'll just see where Chelsea go from here. They do have a good young squad. They just need to get the best out of the players, which, to be fair, I feel like they will do well. It's just they need to sort of gel together as a team. They haven't gelled together yet. So once they do, I feel like they will push on and win more games. But yeah, sort of like a start to the season for Chelsea. 11th, Crystal Palace. It's Crystal Palace. They normally are around mid-table, from start of the season to the end of the season. So yeah. They are drawn in the cup at the moment against AFC Wimbledon. Oh shit! Oh shit! Go on, Wimbledon! If Wimbledon knock out Chelsea, I'm going to die laughing. But yeah, Crystal Palace. Yeah, with Crystal Palace, they normally are mid-table from start of the season to the end, so I don't expect much change to happen with Palace. But they've looked solid. I can't really say much about Crystal Palace really. Fulham. I expected Fulham. To be fair, I expect the Fulham to actually be worse than how they've been so far at the start of the season. I expected them to be worse, but to be fair, they've pushed on quite well without Mitrovic. So I don't know. Maybe I underestimated Fulham a bit, but we'll see how they continue. But they've looked decent, to be fair to them. Newcastle 13th. Now, Newcastle may be 13th, and yes, they have lost 2 games at the start of the season. But to be fair to them, 2 of those games were against us and Man City. So you can't really blame them for losing 2 of their 3 games. They've got a really tough start of the season in terms of opposition. So to be fair to Newcastle, I feel like they'll be fine.
But, man, look. If you're telling me you remove one person from a field, like if it was my football in America and you remove someone on defense that's supposed to be covering offense, and vice versa, they should have scored more than 1 goal.
Oh yeah, 100%. They should have done way better against us, Newcastle. But it's still Newcastle. They've got a really good team, so I feel like they'll bounce back from this and be fine. I generally think they'll be fine. It's just against us they should have done a whole lot better. That I will admit. They still kept pushing after we've got the went down to 10 men. It's just they couldn't score again for some reason. Especially Anthony Gordon, man. Anthony Gordon was giving Trent Alexander-Arnold fucking nightmares. I swear to God, I'm guaranteed when Trent went to sleep that night, he had a nightmare about Anthony Gordon because he was tearing Trent to shreds. Sorry, Trent, but you got rinsed that game, absolutely rinsed. But luckily, only 1 goal came from it, so oh well. But yeah, to be fair, Newcastle, I think they'll be fine. It's just they've had some tough games to start the season, but once they face the easy teams, they'll smash them. So yeah, they'll be fine. 14th, Nottingham Forest. Forest have been shockingly good. I can't lie. They were unlucky against Manchester United. They arguably should have beat them considering they were 2-0 up, but it's Manchester United, so you sort of expecting them to sort of come back, but coming back from a 2-goal deficit is tough nonetheless. But yeah, and to be fair, they drew 2-2 against Arsenal, which is a good result for Nottingham Forest. So Forest did look decent. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. This is why I think they won't get relegated. I think they'll be around the race to get relegated, but I don't think they will get relegated. Doncaster 1-0 up against Everton. Matt, just after Everton missed a near sitter. I will talk about Everton in a second. Oh, I've got a lot to talk about when it comes to Everton. Oh, I'm enjoying this. I am enjoying Everton at the moment. 15th Wolves. Wolves, I expect them to be around this position, to be honest. But to be fair, they haven't looked bad. Wolves, that I will say, they haven't looked too bad. They were quite unlucky against Manchester United, especially considering they arguably, not even just arguably, they should have had a penalty at the end of the game against Manchester United when Onana came up with the ball and pretty much punched a dude in the face in the box. So, yeah, Wolves should have had a penalty, and that could have saved a draw for them against Manchester United. But it's still a somewhat, decent position for them in the table for now. But I do still think they'll be around the relegation race because they don't really have a goal scorer necessarily. I mean, they do have a goal scorer. They do have Raul Jimenez. It's just he's actually no. Jimenez went to Fulham, didn't he? Yeah. So yeah, they've lost quite a lot of their goal scorers. So yeah, I feel like Wolves are going to struggle. But I don't think they get relegated. Some people think they will. I don't think they will. 16th Bournemouth. Yeah, I sort of expected Bournemouth to be around this position in the table. Again, it's going to be one of those teams in the relegation race. So yeah, I don't think they'll get relegated, but they'll be around the race. So yeah, pretty much how I expected Bournemouth to start off. Same with Sheffield United, 17th. Although I didn't expect them to be 17th at this point. I thought they were going to be like 18th or 19th. But yeah, I expected Sheffield to sort of be destroyed at the start of the season. Although, to be fair, they did decent against Manchester City. That I will say, they almost drew against Manchester City. When I saw that they were 1-1 with Man City, even though it only lasted a couple of minutes before City scored a second goal, yeah, fair play to Sheffield United. They showed some fight against City, and they almost drew. That would have been a mad result for Sheffield United, but yeah, I fully expect them to go down this season. 18th Burnley. I expected Burnley to be better, to be honest, to start off this season, but to be fair to them, they've had some tough opposition, so I can't really go on them too badly, but I expected them to be better. And to be fair to Burnley, they've only played 2 games, and one of them was against Manchester City. So they're the only team, along with, I think, Luton, that have played 2 games, because Burnley and Luton were meant to face against each other, but their game got postponed, I think. So they haven't played their game yet. So they still have only played 2 games, whereas every other team have played 3. So Burnley, to be fair, yeah, one of them against Manchester City. So I can't go on them too badly. But yeah, I expected them to be better than how I've seen from them so far. But we'll see where they go. 19th Luton Town, no surprise. Yeah, just I expect Luton to be relegated. I expect them to be dead last by the end of the season. They're just not Premier League. Like, they're Premier League ready in terms of actually being in the Premier League because they've got this far, but they're not Premier League ready to be staying in the Premier League beyond this season. They'll get relegated for certain. And 20th, Everton. 3 games, 3 losses. I think 6 goals conceded, and have they scored a goal? I generally don't think they have. Or they have. They've only scored like 1 or 2 goals or something like that. But they've been bad. They have been terrible. Oh, Everton. I said this in my predictions, and some people genuinely didn't believe it because they thought Sean Dyche would keep them up, but they are going down. They are 100% going down. Their luck is run out. They were bordering on relegation the past 2 seasons. Their luck is running out this season, guaranteed. End of the season, they're being relegated. I think they will come to a point in the season where they will have a nice little run of results that will stop them from finishing dead last. They will finish like 18th or something. But they are going down. I genuinely think that they are going down because they have no goal scorers. Their defense is shaky, and they have no goal scorers. They have Calvert-Lewin, but he's inconsistent as shit for Everton. So, yeah. And now they're 1-0 down in the cup. So yeah, they're just a mess right now. Everton. Bold statement. I'm saying it. They're going down. They are going down. 100% going down. I said this in my predictions. The three teams that are going down are Luton, Sheffield United, and Everton. Those are the three teams going down. I fully believe that wholeheartedly. But yeah, that is my thoughts so far on the Premier League season. And yeah, should be interesting to see where the season goes from here. Hopefully, we'll beat Aston Villa in terms of Liverpool next, and we'll push on and hopefully challenge for the title. That's fingers crossed. In terms of what I want us to get, I want us to get top four at the very fucking least. But I want us to get like second. I want to say minimum second, but we'll see where it goes. I want us to win the title, though, obviously, but we'll see where it goes. City are going to be quite something to beat. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Two more things that we're talking about. We got Payback, but the one thing, I said I have another stat and all that. Name the top 10 longest reigns for the NXT Women's Championship. This go by these pretty quick.
Yeah. Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Sasha Banks? No?
Yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah.
Oh, yep, she's in there. Okay. Charlotte. Let's see. Raquel.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, how many do I need to name?
You need 4 more.
Trying to think who else. Who else had it for like a decent amount of time? Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Number 5 and number 10 left.
Paige.
Mm-hmm. Number 5. I'm surprised you didn't get number 3 yet. Oh my gosh. Oh
Wait.
boy, you need to slap. Oh, someone need to slap you. Oh my gosh.
Wait. I'll get there. Wait. Uh, Ember was really short, wasn't it? So it wouldn't be Ember. Oh wait, or is Ember in there?
I'll give it to number 10.
Oh yeah, Ember's in there. Okay, good. Kyrie's definitely not in there because she was ridiculously short. I think she's actually got the shortest reign,
Number
Kyrie.
3 is the only one you need to have. Oh my gosh. If you do not get it.
Rio was very short, so it's not her. I'm trying to think. God, my mind's gone blank. Shit. Wait. Oh gosh. Oh, I'm missing someone very obvious here, aren't
Yes.
I? Great. Good to know.
Oh my gosh.
Mandy Rose.
Thank you.
There we go.
Oh,
To be fair, I wasn't watching NXT during her reign, so yeah.
yeah. Long damn reign. She's about to go past Shayna.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
So Asuka 522 days, Shayna 416, Mandy 413. Io short or Io Sky or Sarai 304, Paige 273, Charlotte 258, Bailey 223, Raquel 201, Sasha 191, and Amber 139. God, that's such a sad number compared to number 9. Like, she couldn't even get higher than that. But that's that. I have another one for the next podcast. Okay, WWE Payback. This has been a long, long podcast, but hey, I've enjoyed it and everything. WWE Payback. We got 6 matches, and then we got another Grayson Waller effect with the American Cody Rhodes. Let's just get this first match out of the way because no one really cares about it. Trish and Becky Steel Cage. I'll let you predict that. We're not previewing nothing.
Yeah. Thing is, like, you would expect like Trish versus Becky, for people to care about that, but the feud has been nah. The feud has been very underwhelming. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and just predict Becky to win. I just don't see Becky losing. So yeah, Becky's winning, and yeah, just move on from there.
Yeah, I got Becky winning. Even Trish on a podcast or interview said it seems like it's went a little too long, and I'm like, a little?
A little.
I don't know about a little, but yeah, I think Becky winning, and yeah, that's that. Rey Mysterio defending the United States Championship against Austin Theory. Um, Now look, I'm gonna say this, and I don't know if it'll go that way. It can either go two ways. Ray wins clean, like I think it will happen, or was Santos turns on Ray because Ray took his championship or took
Could
it
see that.
and became champion. But I don't think they're going to do that. So I think I'll go with Ray retaining, and because I just don't see if it wasn't for Becky Tristan, I might have skipped this show. I can't lie. Oh, Josh. Oh, wait a minute. Did I read that correctly? Well, I get. I just look. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like steel cage matches. I'll be the first one to tell you I don't like steel cage, and especially for a feud that's been not really good at all. So, you might be excited for it, but you might be you might be one of the few thousands that might enjoy this because this has went way too long. Wait,
Nakamura Rollins, on the other hand, now that I am excited for, but we'll get onto that. We will get onto that.
because even though Ray and Theory's pretty predictable, it's probably going to be a solid match.
Yeah, yeah,
So, but I'm assuming you got Ray retaining.
yeah. I've Ray retained it. I don't see Ray just losing the belt again to Theory. I don't see Theory having another reign, especially after how his last reign went. I just don't see it. So yeah, Ray retaining.
Okay, so next up, we got the Miz versus L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. LA Knight should win here easily. Um, but
He better win.
the thing I want to see more out LA Knight, we hear the promo, we hear the segment, this that. I want him and the Miz to have a good amount of time for this match, and I want it to be good because a lot of people's like, "Oh, can LA Knight wrestle?" Well, we know he can. We've seen it. It's just a lot of people are questioning that. It kind of irritates me, but
Yeah, like LA Knight can go. He just needs to be given the opportunity to have a good match. So hopefully, like, I don't know if him and Miz will be the match to do it, but give them enough time. I feel like they'll put on a solid match. So
I mean,
yeah,
this has to be this has to be like the first match. It goes a good distance because I feel like you got 6 matches, which is like a takeover s show with a segment with Grayson Waller and Cody. So I mean, for me, but I mean, this show seems very predictable, which it is, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be like a very solid, pay.
yeah,
So I'm assuming you got LA Knight as well. Which I mean, look, him and the
yeah,
good back and forth stuff. I'm not gonna lie. So I mean, hopefully
yeah.
that
They're
turns out
like
good.
their promos against each other were great. So yeah, like it's at least brought some sort of intrigue in this match. So yeah, but yeah, LA Knight's winning.
Um, go to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending the tag team championships against Finn Balor, and Jay Priest in a street fight. Huh. That now, hey, I don't get me wrong, everyone loves it, but I love it even more when there's no rules involved and weapons are allowed. I love that.
Yep. Yep. Agreed. And yeah, that stipulation is going to be good for those four men to just beat the hell out of each other. So yeah, this could be match of the night. Honestly, like you could say Rollins and Nakamura as well. Which yeah, but if not Rollins and Nakamura, I could see this being match of the night. So yeah, um, I personally have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn retaining because I don't see Finn Balor and Priest getting along. Something's definitely happening between those two. LA Knight is over, especially if as you've got his chance outside Wembley after AEW. Yeah, 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 definitely. Yeah. Literally, like all you heard, like before the show and after the show outside Wembley, you just hear people going, yeah, just every like 5 bloody seconds. So it's sort of like how like some people like before the show and after the show, like you hear like people going woo, like doing the woo. Just people do the like yeah, LA like yeah to it as well. So yeah, it's just sort of carried on. So yeah, LA Knight's over as fuck, man. It's mad. But yeah, I have Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens retaining. Finn Balor and Priest. There's obviously going to be something happening between those two. Probably something to do with the briefcase. The briefcase is definitely going to get involved again. Um, so yeah, they're retaining.
Yeah, I agree as well. Also on Raw, I think it was Raw. Rhea said if y'all don't have gold around your waist or something, we need to reevaluate or the Judgment Day. Something in the words of that. So
Mm,
that gives me vibes that Priest might be trying to cash in here soon.
yeah, yeah,
Gives
I
me vibes,
agree.
but there, I hate to bring this, and I hate it, but there's been a lot of stuff going around that when Priest tries to cash in, JD Benodum and Finn Balor is going to mess up his cash in.
Oh, I don't want that for Priest. I don't want that for him. I guess that would sort of make sense after all the bullshit that Balor's been through due to that briefcase. But I don't want that for Priest. Like, he won the briefcase. Like, just let him cash it successfully. Like, we don't need another failed cash in. I hate failed cash ins in general. Like, it just seems so pointless. Like, if you're gonna put the briefcase on someone, just go all in with them. Just have them win the belt. Like, fuck it, go for it. I don't know. I would hate that. Like, I guess yeah, it sort of makes sense for the story, but at the same time, it's just like you could do it so many other ways. You don't have to have Priest fail this cash in. You don't. So I don't know. I would hate that, me personally.
Yeah, I absolutely 100% hate failed cash, and that's why in my universe mode, all 3 years I've done Money in the Bank, everyone's cashed in successfully. I do not like failed cash ins, even if it's a video game or if it's in real. I hate failed cash ins. So if this happens, I'm not a fan of it because you might as well have just gave it to LA Knight and let him did the cash in and win. So that's why I really don't like it in the big time like that. But yeah, I think KO and Sammy should retain. Um so this match right here, Rhea defending against Raquel, I am very excited for. I am very excited because I think they had that weapons match NXT. Now they're not it's a normal match, but if that I think they have very good chemistry too. So I'm expecting a very solid match here. And
Yeah,
and dare I say, not match of the night, but it could be if they let them go.
bold statement, bold statement, but I can't really disagree. Yeah, their match in NXT, that weapons match that they had, I did see that match. That was really good. Yeah, they do have a lot of chemistry, which you'd expect. They're two very similar superstars in terms of their styles and how they wrestle. So just naturally, they're going to gel well together. So yeah, I expect a good match between these two. Um, Rhea's obviously retaining. Like Raquel is not going to win the belt, is she? So that's the only thing is that it's predictable, but still going to be a good match regardless. But yeah, Rhea's retaining as she should. Yeah, hopefully this will be a good match because this is what Rhea's reign has really needed or lacked is a really good match in terms of like a title defense because all of her matches have been quite short. I've noticed. Like she's had like very short
Her,
matches, just kind of squash
her,
matches.
her longest match is Natalia on that Raw, and I think it was 10 minutes.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, like I, I don't know why they're doing that. Like I don't know whether she's like got a bit of an injury that she's working through or something, or are they doing this just purely for storyline and trying to build her as this like dominant force? But I don't know. Like if they're just doing it like just to build her up as a dominant force, then you don't need to have her have short matches to build her up as a dominant force. Look at Gunter. Gunter is built up as a dominant force. Yet he's putting on bangers after bangers after bangers, putting on like 15 to 20-minute matches with people and like doing 50-50 offense and all that. But he just wins the match and he just carries himself like a monster. And Rhea's going to do that anyway. So you don't need to have her have 5-minute matches to 10-minute matches to build her up as this dominant force. We know she's dominant.
Yeah,
So just don't be afraid to have her go out there and have a classic of a match with someone. So hopefully we get that with Raquel, and then she'll continue that with other people as well. So yeah,
I hope so as well. But yeah, Rhea is retaining here, and rightfully should. And yeah, I really agree with that. Um, Grayson Waller effect with Cody Rhodes. What do you think they're going to do out of this? Is it going to become a match eventually down the road, or what? I don't know.
I genuinely don't know. They could do anything. Like they could do like this is the start of a Cody Rhodes Grayson Waller feud. They like this could build up to someone maybe coming out and attacking Cody during the segment. Maybe a Randy on return. To be honest, that is my like number one thing I want to happen. I want to see Randy come out and sort of like just show up and like basically like sort of act like he's going to be on Cody's side or something. Like say Grayson Waller talking shit about Cody or something. Randy comes out, has a segment with Cody. Cody and Randy team up against Grayson Waller, beat him up, and then all of a sudden Randy RKO's Cody afterwards at the start of a feud between them two. I feel like that would be sick, but I don't know. Who knows? Anything could happen, literally. So I'm just gonna go with the safe one here and just go with they're just gonna have a segment and it's just gonna lead to a feud between them two. Yeah, just
Uh,
something simple.
that wouldn't make no sense. Grayson is SmackDown, ain't he?
Ah, yeah, true. So yeah, maybe someone is going to come out then. Maybe
Yeah,
someone is going to come out and sort
that
of interfere. Maybe Randy. I don't know.
I don't know who, but gotta be somebody. All right, so we got the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Seth Rollins defends against Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is going to be good. Oh, this is going to be good. Now, I'm going to say this right here. This is the last chance to put the title on Nakamura. This is the last chance. You missed it against Jinder Mahal. You missed it against AJ Styles. Nakamura hasn't been as hot as this since that feud with Styles. Now's the time to do it. Now is the time, especially after his promos about Seth's back. That has been some of Nakamura's best promo work. I know it's because he did it in Japanese. I don't care. The way he sounded during those promos, sounding like sadistically good. Like I don't know what it is about Nakamura. It just sounds like he's got a new leash on life, Nakamura. So, and this feels like I said this when he turned heel, quote unquote, against Seth, but it kind of gives me the vibes of New Japan Nakamura.
Mhm.
Like, still like quite like he's basically not what he was when he first turned heel in WWE. He's still like doing all of his like King of Strong style stuff, but he's just a lot more like he's got a mean streak about him, a big mean streak, which is basically what he had in New Japan. Like he's very like flashy, and all that, but he also had a mean streak about him in New Japan. And it feels like he's brought that over to WWE, and it's getting the best out of him, especially when it comes to those promos that he had about Seth's back. That's really been top quality stuff from Shinsuke. So I say reward him, go for it. Just put the title on him, please. I want to see Nakamura with a world title at least once. And I feel like if you're gonna do it, now's the time. Like, I I still don't see it though. I see Seth retaining, but I want to see Nakamura win. Oh fuck it, I'm gonna go for it. Shinsuke Nakamura is gonna be your new champion. Fuck it, I'm gonna go for it. Come on, please, Triple H, just reward the man. He's paid his dues. He's gone through some shit. Just have him win the belt and reward him for arguably some of his best stuff on the main roster. Just go for it.
Well, I said it on Twitter. I would love Nakamura to beat Seth Rollins because Nakamura deserves a world championship run, even if it is short. Or
Yeah, genuinely, like, yeah, even if, like you said, even if it's short, even if it's only a reign that lasts a month, I'd take that. Like, because I just feel like Shinsuke needs a world title reign in his accolades. Like, he's done everything there is to do in terms of title reigns. Like, he's won the tag team titles, he's won the US title, he's won the Intercontinental title, NXT title. He just needs the world title. He just needs a world title to sort of complete that. In my opinion, just go for it. But we'll see. Go on, you continue.
um, but I guess this is the only match we're going to separate from because Nakamura will not be winning the world championship. A-
Yeah,
As bad as I would say, I wish he would. Now it might change. It might change. I mean, you never know, but I just don't think they're going with Seth being the first ever world heavyweight champion. I just think they want a good lengthy run for the first champion, at least.
but the thing is, he's been champion for a good couple months now. So, like,
I know.
you're thinking, like,
I think longer though.
yeah, maybe.
I,
We'll see. I will admit, like, my mind is telling me Seth. My heart is telling me Nakamura. It's very conflicting.
yeah.
Like, but and I'm listening to more of my heart than I am my brain. But Yeah, we'll see. Like the logical like prediction is Seth. Like that is the most likely one. But I'm gonna predict Shinsuke nonetheless because I want it to happen that badly. But we'll see. If I'm right, I'm gonna be so goddamn happy. So yeah,
I
we'll see.
do because I really do want Nakamura to win, but I
Mm,
just
you just don't see it.
no, I don't. I don't. I really don't. I think it's going to be the match of the night, but I just do not. He's going to get so damn close, and it's going to be one of those 2.99 near fall um, kickouts. But I just don't think he's going to get it.
Ugh. It'd be such
But
a shame because
but
like it really is a last chance.
this is the perfect chance, and you're right. This is the. Uh, I'm not going to say it's the last time, but it feels like the last time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ah, shoot. That's,
Ugh.
that sucks. I
We'll
hope.
see. We'll see. I thought this about Finn Balor and he ended up losing, so I think it'll happen again here and Nakamura's gonna lose, but we'll see. I'll keep my fingers crossed though for a Shinsuke win because yeah, it just feels like this is the last chance for Shinsuke to win a world title. Because like let's be honest, how many more years has he got left in him, Nakamura? Probably not too many more. And how, especially in those how many years he has left, is it going to be as hard as he is now? That's the thing. That's the thing you got to think about. So it just really feels like if you're going to pull the trigger on it, now's the time. But we'll see whether Triple H will do it. We'll see.
He ain't doing it. He ain't doing it. I wish he would, but he ain't going to do it. I do wish the feud was a little bit longer, though.
Yeah, I do. I do feel like it does need it to be a bit longer, but hey ho. To be honest, even if it's Nakamura, like winning the belt off Rollins and they continue the feud on from then, and then Seth wins it back, I will take that. Just have Nakamura have his moment, please. I'm begging. Just one moment with the world title. That's all I need. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, yeah, we shall see. But I think that's going to be it for the podcast. We went over a lot of literally almost everything you could think of about. Um, if you made it this far, congrats, because hell, I barely made it this far. Um,
Yeah, so did I. Jesus, this podcast has took quite a lot out of me. I think I might have a nap after this, but
yeah,
I enjoyed it nonetheless. Like
yeah,
it's been a great time.
yeah. It has been a great time and everything. And if you haven't already and you're watching, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you happen to be watching this on demand, which you are wild if you made it this far, I know it'd be, but thank you guys, whoever came in and just watched, even if it was for a second, a minute, whatever. We greatly appreciate it, and until next time, y'all have a great night, day, wherever you may be, and until the next one, see y'all.
Take care, everybody.